Hello everyone, welcome back to this week's video. This is another live streaming video. So we are doing live streaming video tutorials every Wednesday and then more personal vlog content on Saturdays. Thank you so much. This week is going to be all about events on LIVIT. So this is actually going to be part of a 3-part series. This week is going to be about just understanding events and what they are. Next week will be strategies to help you do better with events. And the third week will be a deep dive on one of those strategies, explaining how to set it up. So if you're new to this channel, hello, welcome. My name is Aislinn, also known as Smilin and also known as the face of LIVIT. So if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and ding dong that notification bell so that you know whenever I upload another video. As well as if you would be willing, if you got any value out of this content, out of this video, I really appreciate it if you left a like rating and a comment, because both really help the video with the algorithm and then the video does better. So thank you. Without further ado, let's dive in. Okay, so let's talk events. Events are things that run on the app every month. There are many events that run every month, and there are different categories of events. So we're gonna just look at what they all are, what they mean, and how to understand them, because they can kind of get a little confusing, to be honest, especially when you're not used to them. If we go over to the events tab, you can see that there are all different categories of events. The benefit of participating in an event is basically you have a hard goal that you are reaching that will then incentivize your viewers to donate and support you. And it's creating that, like friendly competition. Obviously, it can get not so friendly. Most of the time it is very friendly competition. Either way, it will incentivize your viewers to help support you and help you set some concrete goals. And then also, if you manage to win or place, you could win either gadgets, trips, experiences, or even, a monetary bonus. So they are fun things to participate in. Now, the different categories that they run every month are newbie, music, popularity, monthly, and then 3 tiers of bronze, silver, and gold. So the tiers basically are each month after you stream, you get sort of categorized as a bronze streamer, a silver streamer, or a gold streamer, based on your performance from a couple different things. How do you know which tier you are? You are going to get a butler message, which is going to be in your notifications at the beginning of each month, congratulating you on whichever tier you're in. That will then allow you to participate in any of those tiered events that month. The purpose behind this really is to help divide out the level of streamers, so that way bronze tier streamers have a better chance of winning an event instead of constantly competing in events against gold streamers, because gold streamers are probably going to have larger support, have grown a larger audience, and it's just going to be harder for someone, especially starting out, to compete with that. So that is why these tiers exist. Newbie events are pretty much exactly what you would expect. Anyone who is a newbie, so you can only participate in those events if you are a newbie, which means level 30 and below, I believe, unless they recently changed that. Music are music events. Now, you can actually have your account tagged as an official music account. So if you are a musical performer, you will be able to participate in those events. Then there are the month-long events, which are events that run all month. And then there is the popularity events. Those are usually the biggest, largest, flashiest, most exciting, enticing events. And they honestly normally run all month as well. So if you're looking for one that you think is supposed to be in monthly and it's not, it's most likely in popularity. Okay, so let's actually go into one of the events. When you open it up, you will see 2 things at the very top. One, the actual event description, and live. Live will actually list all of the streamers that are currently live who are competing for that specific event. Now, the description of the event will has a ton of information. This is the part that gets a little confusing, but basically most of the time that you come here will be to initially understand what the event is and how it works, and then to return back to continuously look at the leaderboard or leaderboards, depending on how it is broken up, because there can be many different leaderboards, many different stages for the event. So let's dive into that. So usually the categories that exist within an event are going to be the event details, gifts, timeline, different leaderboards and the rules. Now the rules are pretty much going to be the same across all of the events. Read through them one time and you're pretty much going to be set with it. Basically just don't cheat. Amongst a couple other things, just read it. It's very boring, so I don't want to cover it here. Now, under event details is where the bulk of the information you're going to need is going to really be. That's going to kind of lay out the format of this event, what it's about, what it's really for, who can compete in it, that kind of a thing. Gifts are going to be what gifts in stream supporters can send. It's not going to be gifts as like what are the prizes. Gifts are going to be what are those animations that people can send so that you can accumulate points for this event. Timeline is a literal timeline of the event, and if there are multiple stages or different leaderboards that run for different amount of times, it will show that on this timeline. Then there will be a tab for each different leaderboard if there are multiple different leaderboards. So this could be either weekly, daily, overall, and then there is also sometimes a fan leaderboard. So that's the fan leaderboard is to give back to those supporters who support their favorite streamers. Now, each of these leaderboard tabs are going to break down who and how many people can either qualify or win each stage on those different leaderboards, and then what you win within that leaderboard. So now that you understand the basic structure of an event, let's actually dive in to a complicated event just as practice to like really break down what is going on here. Okay, we are going to go into the big event this month of May. It is the Hollywood Star event. So we're gonna open this up. Now you can see immediately that there are many different things here. Not only is there the event description, but there is phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, final phase, and then final event description. So like I said, we're gonna start in the event description to understand what is going on. So we're gonna go into details. This then breaks down that streamers will be able to appear on multiple leaderboards as long as they meet the individual leaderboard requirements. So as you saw, there are many different leaderboards available. The different leaderboards are going to be overall, musician, and newbie. So this is allowing a whole lot of those different categories kind of all together. And then it breaks down further into further details, and this actually has an elimination round. So we saw before that there's a phase 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the final. And each one of those is an elimination round. This is actually pretty common, especially for these larger ones, where not only do you have to compete and in the end have the largest number of points, but you also have to compete throughout these elimination rounds. So this one, for example, after phase 1, if you are in the top 150 streamers in the event, you will continue. Then the second phase, you have to be in the top 100, then the top 50, then the top 25, and then the final round is the top 5 people. And it also has, you know, the timestamps and everything. So let's go into, then again, we have the timeline. So then it will show each of these different phases, and when the final phase ends, we have the different gifts. It does have a surprise bag gift, which is a gamble. So you spend a certain number of coins and then get one of these 6 different options. Overall, so this is talking about the overall leaderboard. This breaks down each of the different stages, again, the timeline, and different prizes for each of these phases. So each of the phases have prizes as well as the larger major prize at the very end. As you can see, this is why I say that they're very complicated. We don't even know what that final phase prize is yet. You have an idea based off of the title. It's the Hollywood Billboard event. But you have to dig through so much to fully understand everything that is happening in this event. So that's why I'm walking you through this. So at the end of each phase, the top 5 streamers will win these following prizes. This is for the overall leaderboard, remember. Because remember, there is the overall leaderboard, the musician leaderboard, and the newbie leaderboard. This is the overall. So if you're in the top 5, you get some Amazon gift cards. Then the overall grand prize, and now we're finally getting into this. So the overall grand prize, the top 5 people will win something. Top 2 will get on this billboard that they are placing in Hollywood, as well as cash prizes, and then positions 3 through 5 get cash prizes only. There's then also fan prizes. Then there are also digital prizes, which are, you know, profile backgrounds, comment badges, stickers, frames, things that kind of decorate your account. and then they provide examples of what this looks like in the actual app. All right, so that's the overall leaderboard. Then we also have the musician leaderboard. Now this is pretty much broken down in the exact same way. It's saying, so end of each phase for people on the musician leaderboard get these rewards. And then it says that on the musician overall prize, not to be confused with the overall leaderboard, but the overall musician winner. You see why this is so complicated? The terminology overlaps constantly. So the overall musician, only one person will get on the billboard, but the other 4 will get cash prizes. And then there's also the fan prizes, but no digital prizes on this one. Then there's the newbies. Newbies, same thing. The top 5 in each phase get cash prize, and then only number 1 at the final phase on the newbie overall leaderboard, again, the newbie leaderboard, not the overall leaderboard, gets a billboard slot. And then the other 4 get cash prizes. There is then also more fan prizes there. Now we go into the billboard. So this is where it finally tells us what this big overarching prize is. So the event offers 4 lucky streamers the chance of a lifetime to be featured on a billboard in Hollywood, California. This is real, guys. This is like, I'm not kidding about this. You can literally get on a billboard. So it then tells you where it is and gives a little bit more of the logistics of like when the photo shoot would be and all of that, where it is, just the logistics. Now there's also bonus prizes in this one. So bonus prizes are based on the total event score found in the final phase bonus leaderboard, which is like a whole other thing. So the top 10 ranked streamers on the overall leaderboard will receive the following prize. They will receive a custom Walk of Fame Hollywood star replica painted with your name by the creator of the actual Hollywood stars, which is super creative. I actually love this prize. I think it's brilliant. So it then goes over that. And there are also additional digital prizes as well. And then the rules. So I will scroll through this. Feel free to pause and read if you would like. But it's basically like everything we're giving you is pre-tax. You do have to pay tax on it if you win, like cash or things. Don't cheat. Have fun reading that. So now that's just event description. Remember, there is still phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, and final phase tabs here. So when we go into phase 1, you then see there is musician, newbie, and overall. And then under each one of those, there is also fans and streamers. So this is basically, remember how there are 3 different leaderboards? And then on those leaderboards, there's both the streamers and the fans. Yeah, that's where these all live. So in the first phase, I competed in the overall, so I would click on overall and I am a streamer. So I click on streamer and then I can scroll through and actually see where I placed. In the first phase, I placed in 14th because I only need to get through the different elimination rounds before the final phase. Now, one issue I have with this event is they do not make it clear whether the final phase will be determined with an accumulation of all the coins you took in over all the previous phases, or if it is just the coins you bring in during that final phase. Now, I asked my talent manager and she said that it is the latter. It is only going to be the coins that you bring in on the final phase, which totally changes the strategy, which is why I only pushed for top 14 in the first phase, because I needed to stay in the top 150. Then phase 2, we can go in against, we can look streamer, overall, and I placed 33rd because I needed to be in the top 100. Just making sure that I am getting through each of these phases as they go. Now these are all closed because this event is ongoing. I can't remember where I placed in this one, but I did place in it. And then phase 4. So this is the one that we are currently in. You can see when a phase is active, it actually does have the countdown clock on it. Let's take a look at where I am. I believe I'm gonna be right around the 20s. Yep, 21. So I just need to make sure that I'm in the top 25 for this to get into the final phase. And then it will be the final phase. And you can see here that the final phase has not started. So the leaderboard does not exist. Also notice how it not only has musicians, newbies, overall, it then also has bonus. That is where people are going to be able to win that Walk of Fame Hollywood star. And this is the accumulation of all of the points. So I can actually take a look at where I am. It looks like I'm going to have to massively step it up if I want one of those stars. So if you guys are watching this right now, if you want to try to help me get on a billboard in Hollywood, come join one of my streams within the next week or so. And also maybe try to get me a star on the Walk of Fame to put in my background here. I will be doing some major giveaways and things. But anyway, yes, this ends on Monday, May 31st. It ends. So if anyone is willing to help support me, get me on a billboard, possibly get me on a billboard in the state that my ex lives in to remind him that I don't need his drama to get myself publicity, that'd be great. But either way, I hope that helps with understanding how to break down events. It is complicated. It gets messy. But if you ever have doubts, just read through and click through every single tab in the event description and read it all to try to piece it together. Because honestly, the number one way I've seen people lose events is not understanding how the event works and not understanding what the best strategy is to approach it. Now, what is the best strategy to approach it? I'll be covering that next week. So stay tuned for that next week, guys. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that you are here. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment down below or message me on Instagram at Smilin_Aislinn, or also Smilin_original is my Instagram that is devoted to all live streaming tips, tricks, news, and inspiration. So if you want more of that in your life, that one's for you. But thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, but only if you got value out of this. I really appreciate each and every one of you. I will see you this Saturday for my Disney vlog, and then next week for the strategies of how to win an event on LIVIT. Thank you so much, and remember to keep smiling.